Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay. The #1 source for competitive Legends of Runeterra news and information. If you're looking for the best decks to play right now, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Master Runeterra or in our Discord. And if you want to take the next step in leveling up your game, check out our Runeterra team on Patreon, where we do weekly learning calls and one-on-one coaching. Now strap in and grab yourself some Poro snacks, because we are about to start Mastering Runeterra.
Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bay. We have a unique show for you guys today. Yeah. So we are currently in the midst of preparing for Worlds, which is next Saturday, November the 19th. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Getting there?
Yep.
Okay. Excellent.
As of recording, it is in 8 days.
Yeah. It's coming. It feels like you have a lot of time, and then you just don't. It's gone.
8 days is when we're playing the tournament. Do you know when we have to submit?
Yes. It's
when?
Yeah, I heard you asking this before. It's 24 hours before.
Okay, so it's the morning of the 18th.
Yes.
So we have 6 days.
Yes, 7 days. 6 days. 6 days. 6 days. And reminder, Europe, because nothing has changed from last year, your opponent and everyone else can see your deck lists as soon as you submit them.
Oh my god, that was so dumb. So just don't submit until last minute. If you're watching this and you're in Worlds qualifiers, do not submit until last minute.
Yeah. And then also, if you miss it, there's penalties and stuff. So they literally give you the worst of both worlds. You get covered. I think you actually do get covered. I think they'll put you in. They'll figure it out or whatever. Okay. But it's kind of a big deal, so it's weird. Yeah, because you have to wait till the last second because you don't want your opponent to see what decks you're playing. Which, by the way, though, now we could play some mind games. Submit.
I did that last time.
One lineup.
I submitted my lineup and then changed it. It was a bunch of bullshit. It was so dumb.
Anyways,
I hated doing that though.
Yes. Anywho, but yeah, make sure we don't miss that at all. Anyways, okay. So this video just dropped. If you haven't seen it, it's from Davetron, who is the head of LoR basically now. And he's asking for people's suggestions on how to change competitive opinions. Yeah. Interesting. Let's watch it. Let's watch it real quick. It's only a minute. It's minute 30, and we'll all watch it together in case you haven't seen it. And then we'll kind of chat about a bit, and then we want to talk about what our opinions and thoughts and how to change competitive for the better. Because we've been playing card games for decades and stuff. We're kind of we've got some good thoughts.
I actually just passed 1 decade of card games. This year is my 1 decade.
I've got 2 decades, so I'm old.
You're
Let's
old.
watch the fucking video. All right, god damn it. Okay, here.
Let's watch the video. What is this?
Is this the right video?
This is not the right video.
This is not the right video.
A Varus video. Bro.
Okay, I found it. Here it is. Okay, wait. Okay, you ready? Are we ready?
Okay.
We're good. We're good now? Okay. We got it. Here it is. Here, just watch it. Say nothing.
Hey all, and welcome back to another Dev Snapshot. I'm Dave Guskin, Game Director for Legends of Runeterra. It's been a few months since our last snapshot, and we can't believe how the year has just flown by. I don't have any one big update to share with you this time around, but instead wanted to share a few things that are on our minds for 2023, and all the ways you as a player can weigh in and affect the outcome. Think of this as a prequel to the next Dev video coming out early next year, where we'll discuss things in more depth. So, as of this moment, I'm deputizing all of you as our dev partners on this lore journey. Deputy Daves.
Evening, officer.
The theme of 2023 is going to be exploring and creating new content for you and your friends to enjoy. This marks the start of a new chapter for lore, and we want you to have a part in helping us write that story. We've already started this hard work by asking you to weigh in on the ever-important topic of rotation. For example, we know you're interested in reworked versions of rotated champions, and you want more frequent competitive outlets for Eternal. A blog post is coming soon discussing that feedback and how we're responding to it. The possibilities ahead are endless, and we're excited to explore them with you. Gauntlets and tournaments, for example, are something else we're interested in iterating on. We want to make them more satisfying and more meaningful for players, and we're honing in on exactly how we want to do it. But that's why we want to hear from you. What do you love about them? What do you want to see us do differently? Now is the best time to leave comments, tag us, record reviews and reactions, stream, and shout from the hilltops. We're here and we're listening, specifically in a new thread on the Legends of Runeterra subreddit made for the occasion. Post your thoughts there starting today and make your voice heard. One of the last big things on our distant radar is to find ways for you all to experiment and play with new cards in a limited mode shortly before the full release. More info on that is coming next year. Before I sign off, there's one more thing I want to tell you. The Legends of Runeterra World Championship is starting soon. Lore's best are facing off, and the hype has nowhere to go but up. We aim to keep you on the edge of your seats, and we're eager for this and more events going forward. Right? I hope you have a wonderful end to your year. Thanks for joining me for another Dev Snapshot. We can't wait to hear from you all in the comments, tweets, and smoke signals you share with us.
Okay, so there you have it. Real quick, though, smoke signals, I swear to God, is from one of my articles. But anyways, I can't help, but this is the first we've heard about Worlds, basically, forever. And when he was like, the hype can't go anywhere but up, I was like,
you're right. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then let's see what else was in there. Limited format. That's cool. I hope limited format. It's a little strange though. Like the two of us have been yelling this stuff for going on almost 2 years now. We've had multiple discussions with people in Riot, around Riot tapping certain people in the community, do roundtables, get thoughts, bring them in. When we did roundtables about patches, we've been trying to knock down this door. So I don't know. I guess they're busy with tweeting or something. I don't know. But all that stuff aside, let's do it one more time. Let's go one more time. I'm surprised that this is like difficult for them at all. Like they're Magic players. Like you see what those guys are doing? Does everyone have a good time over there? Just having record months and quarters for their company? Do that.
I would really rather not use Wizards of the Coast as our example for a strong, organized play system.
Don't be predatory and stupid. And like it's not hard. It's not hard. Okay, let's load it up here. Let's get high tech. Here we go. Notepad.
Oh, the Devin Nash special, huh?
I really like it. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So
I actually made a Reddit post. Do you want me to just list what I said?
Okay. It's really killing my Notepad thunder here, but sure.
No. Yeah, we write it down on the
We
Notepad.
agree on most things, so I mean.
All right.
Oh,
so
okay. All right. Yeah, sure.
First thing I said, first thing I said was actually not I don't remember the order, but it was actually not competitive focused at all. So I figured we'd get this out of the way. I whined about prismatics. I said I think prismatics are like just a huge miss.
Prismatics suck.
They do suck. They're incredibly disappointing. I actively don't like them. I have never crafted one prismatic on purpose in my entire life. Right? Only when they force me to. Hold on. We're still on prismatics. Go back. Because what I suggested, I tried to always make a suggestion, right? Instead of just saying, I don't like this. What I really wanted to see was cards given like a full art treatment, right? Or possibly a
animated?
Yeah, or animated, exactly like that. And I mentioned that I would pay lots and lots and lots of money for these things. Just normal cards, like Mystic Shot, right? Like I would love to have like a full art Mystic Shot where it's like slightly spinning or whatever. Anyway, prismatic suck. Moving on. I wanted to see More in-client tournaments. Alternate artworks too. Yeah.
Number 2. Okay. More in-client tournaments.
Yep. And then I mentioned I wanted a specific emphasis on buy-in tournaments. However you want to do that, right? Like
Buy-in tournaments.
League of Legends has Clash, where you can buy use premium currency to buy a Clash ticket, which lets you enter Clash, and then based on whether you bought the base one or the better one, you get prizes based on your finish, right? If you bought the normal one, you get some good prizes. If you bought the good one and you did really well, you get like a lot of stuff, right? So make it like you can get skins you can't get anywhere else, a specific board, right? Like a pet you can't get anywhere else. Anything like that would be cool. Just Riot coins back, right? Like anything like that. Cash prizes if you want to. If you want to do something like the Magic Arena Open, that would be super sick for me. I would love that. And I know a lot of the other competitive people would like that. So yeah, buy-in tournaments in client, I think would be a really big one. What do you think about that?
Totally agree. I would expand on that though, but did you have other stuff? Was there more?
Yeah, but expand. These are talking points.
Okay, well, so I wanted to start it off a little bit more with what the goal should be. The kind of, we talk about this all the time. Goals are that players at all levels have something to do, have a reason to play the game.
Yeah.
And a clear path to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, this means that no matter where you are, if you're beginning or if you are like a pro, there's always something to be doing. Always, like, whether it's a tournament or practicing for a tournament or, smaller tournaments going on for cash money or whatever. There should always be something going on. And this is a problem that Magic has run into. It's where, like, you qualified for a pro tour, now you can't play in all these other events, and so it sucks. You just sit there. Or like ladder is a problem where you sit on your ladder, you sit on your ranking, and then you can't play anymore. Yeah. So you want to avoid that. Get rid of that. Flesh and Blood does a good job where you want an invitation to a pro tour. It's not tied to a specific pro tour. You could use that for any pro tour. So trying to open that up as much as possible. Very good. We want to play for stakes, right? We want to play for stakes, things that matter. Oh, okay.
Maybe start another line.
So while we're here, let's go pie in the sky, right? There's no reason to pull our punches while we're doing this. If Riot was like, hey, Jason and Majiin, just blank check, what do you guys want? We want a path to pro. That would be this is a dream that we don't even dare talk about anymore because it seems so unrealistic and unlikely. And no one really expects that because it's such a huge step up from where we are now. But that is the dream. That would be insane if we had a pro tour system or anything on that level. That would be absolutely insane. But
is seasonal not kind of like that? I mean, I understand it's more casual and everything, but it's an invite only tournament.
Yeah. So when I say path to pro, I mean the ability to play the game as a professional or even a semi-professional. Because currently you can't make any real money, right? Some people bank a seasonals and they make a little bit of money.
Yeah, the top earners board is everyone who top 8'd worlds and seasonals winners, and that's it, which is expected. Yeah. But everyone outside of that is under $10,000 earned, I think.
Oh yeah, way under. So I'm thinking path to pro. I'm talking Magic the Gathering, Pro Tour, where there was some appearance fees. You got to stay on the tour. There was big prize money. Then even on to the MPL, the Magic Pro League, which wasn't handled super well, but those guys made bank. Those guys made a lot of money. They were making they were making six figures So they were legitimate professional Magic players. So I mean, that's the dream. That's like what an amazing thing to aspire to. So yeah, those are like the big pie in the sky things. We want a reason to play the game all the time. And we wanted to to have stakes that we care about. Ideally, money. I'm gonna be real with you. Money is number one. I would rather win money than basically anything else. Obviously there's issues with that. You can't just be throwing money, lighting money on fire all the time. Next to money, though, like you're talking about, awesome cosmetics. Like unique stuff.
Awesome, unique cosmetics. Yeah.
Unique stuff is, by the way, I wanted to mention this real quick. Things that Riot has done that we like: new cosmetics that you get for like top 16 seasonals, very cool. Yeah. Making seasonals one weekend instead of two, very smart. And then even like way back, making seasonals go from 5 rounds to 9 rounds, great.
That was great for competitive. Like, could you imagine having to 5-0 every seasonals?
Ugh.
You're miserable.
Yeah.
You just lose run round and you're like, well, that was a fun 2 months.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of thoughts on specific things that I'd like to see change, but I don't want to I want you to be able to wrap up other things. Or should I keep going?
Let me touch on a couple more things we can revisit.
Okay.
So I think the biggest, like, we'll talk about this later. I don't want to go too in depth because I know we're going to hit on this. Is like a limited format, right? We want a limited format. We want like a draft format, and we want it to have a way to play some way competitively via tournaments, ranked ladder, right? Like, if it's just there and I would play it for nothing, I don't care. It could be the best limited format I've ever played in my life, but if like there's nothing on the line, like it doesn't qualify me for anything, I can't win anything, then I'll never play it. I know.
So a competitive limited format that's tied into organized play.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. That's a better, much more succinct way of saying it. My big one, and I've been harping on this for such a long time, is that Gauntlet is the biggest waste of potential Runeterra has, in my opinion. I think Gauntlet could be such a big deal for this game and such a great like path to, well, I'm going to say path to pro, but in like a different way, path to competitive play, because it is daunting for a lot of people to go from a best of 1 ladder into a best of 3 tournament format, especially if they've never played competitive card games before. That's like a huge shift. They've never done it, and it's just tough. And I think Gauntlet could be like such a great way to get people to like try it out. And not to mention, like, you could run super sick tournaments through Gauntlet. They almost kind of dipped their toes in when they had like cool icons or whatever, but now it's just the same icon every time, and Gauntlet's kind of a joke. Like, no one cares about icons. You can't even see them in the game.
Give away really unique rewards. Like, look how crazy people go for like Gun Buddy, which I think is also the fist bump Gun Buddy thing in Valorant. But the fist bump skin, sleeve skin, people went nuts for that and still kind of do. So like unique skins and like good ones also, please. And I know that's subjective, but like it's not that hard really to see like, hey, that's kind of cool. I think people would like that rather than something that's like kind of vanilla, kind of basic. I will say that's very unique.
Yeah. I will say if I could pick one thing besides like an MPL style league where I get paid out a bunch of money every year, right? Because I don't think that's ever going to happen. If I could pick one thing I think is actually like more realistic and would be just like a dream come true for me in Runeterra, is basically Magic Arena opens. If I could just have Magic Arena opens.
Hold on. Let's do that in a second. Let's stay on Gauntlet though. So let's get some ideas for reworking Gauntlet.
Just do it through Gauntlet. Once a month, you call it like, I don't know, something Gauntlet, and you have to buy a ticket.
I mean, they should probably be like separate, just to.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Whatever. Anyways, let's Gauntlet as is right now. So it does qualify you for seasonals, but most people don't really care about that too much. That's good though, right? That's one of the things you do want, is you want it there as a way for people to qualify that don't have enough time to grind the ladder.
Tiebreakers for seasonals. Because competitive players do not care about qualifying for seasonals. Qualifying for seasonals is a given, right? And so that makes Gauntlet worthless for competitive players. And it's also failing what it's supposed to do for the less competitive players. So it's kind of just not hitting either. If it did one or the other really well, I'd be like, okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this would play out though, because do you now run into an issue? I think what you would have to do is have people qualify first from ladder and then from Gauntlet, because otherwise now what you're gonna have is a bunch of players like us who are like crushing Gauntlet and pushing people out, not so that you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think
the people that would normally qualify for Gauntlet now wouldn't.
If I could pick some quick hits here for Gauntlet. Gauntlet's open 24/7 for best of 3. And then
because it's not currently, right?
It's not. And then once a weekend, you have this is to make like a tiebreaker thing for Gauntlet work, right? Then once a weekend, at any time during the weekend, it's like a Magic League, Magic Online League. You open it up and you play your like 5 matches or whatever, right? And then you get points based on your matches won. And there's a Gauntlet leaderboard. And that goes through the 8 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever of the season. Something like that, you know, and then it does tiebreakers. I don't know. I'm not the man with
play best.
I'm just the man with the
ways to play best of 3 on demand is like a huge one. Ways to play best of 3 that matter on demand,
which is I think what Gauntlet could be.
Was supposed so it could be Gauntlet or best of 3 ladder, or like a league type format, which is like kind of like what Gauntlet is, but a little bit different. But yeah, like I want to play best of 3 so badly. Like I'd love to just like I'd be jamming best of 3 all the time. Like I'd play a lot of it because it helps you actually practice for tournaments, whereas best of 1 often doesn't. And if you don't understand why, we'll look back through our other podcasts or something. Like you should be able to figure it out. Okay, so now arena open type tournaments. So for
this is the holy grail for me.
This is so for anyone who doesn't know, on Magic Arena, you pay like I don't know, $30.
Yeah, $20 or something.
Yeah, they're expensive. It might be 25.
Something. Sure. Yeah.
Pay 30 USD to play in a they're 2-day events now.
2-day Swiss.
Yeah. To play it's not Swiss.
Sorry, no, 2-day double elimination or triple elimination or something.
Yeah. That pays out cash prizes.
They do pay out cash prizes. I believe specifically if you day 2, you make in-game premium currency up to a point, and then it's cash prizes. Not that it's that relevant, but just thought I'd point that out for the people who don't know.
That's correct. Yeah, it's pretty big cash prizes too. It was like $1,000, and then like $2,000, and then they even had $2,500. I think for the construction ones, the most you go in is $2,500. $2,500 USD is a nice chunk of cash for most people.
If they had this every other weekend, I would fire every bullet.
Yeah, and so you can enter as many times as you want.
I would just keep playing. Yeah, I would just keep playing over and over and over and over and over again. Every other weekend. I would do it as much as they let me. And for those of you who are maybe like, that's a lot of money to give out. Like, Runeterra doesn't make kind of money like Magic. Bro, they make so much money on these opens.
Yeah, so the way it's structured specifically is that they do make money. Because like you just break it down, right? There's this many people, and like this many of them will have this record, and they'll pay out this much money, and like this is how much we took in from the buy-ins, and like they're money makers. So I play in these on Arena all the time. They're basically the only form of Magic I've played over the last 1 to 2 years, and I've never moneyed any of them ever, and I love them, and I'll keep doing it because it's so fun, and I just love the thrill of like playing for like big stakes. You know,
if I had Arena downloaded on my computer and I had cards, I would play them. And I don't play
literally I literally will see someone tweet out like, "Hey, look, here's my run, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, hey, one of those is happening. Update arena, like buy a bunch of packs. I don't have any decks. Make a deck real quick, fire like 3 or 4 bullets, not get there, and be like, yeah, that was cool."
And you think it won't like bring people in to try it? Like, absolutely, people will come from like other games to be like, let's, they have these.
And
these
it's a
things.
moneymaker, and it makes the people that are already in the game super happy.
Yep.
Like,
now I get that like the upfront ticket cost might be pretty expensive. Something that I thought might be interesting. You could have some kind of satellite tournaments through Gauntlet.
I mean,
you don't need to.
Yeah,
I just thought you could.
You totally could. There's other ways that
if you win it, you get an entry.
Yeah, because why not, right? You just give coins. Just give coins. Just charge coins. Just more ways to make coins in game. Why not? Yeah, and so they do these once a month. Every single month they have one. The format changes constantly. That's another thing with seasonals is it's really frustrating to have one tournament to play in. Really, that matters. So you like for anyone that doesn't know, which I mean most of the people at Riot that play competitively should know, but if anyone doesn't know, you have to put a lot of time and energy in to honestly have a shot at winning a seasonals. To realistically have a shot. And it's just not worth it when you have one tournament to play in compared to if you could practice for like 3 weeks and then you have a big tournament and then the next week another big tournament, maybe even like, one other tournament or something else to play in. That's that same format. Then you get so much more out of your time and you feel like you haven't just kind of wasted your time on this like one shot, which would be absolutely fantastic.
So I played, right. We've played Pro Tours and stuff. I played Pro Tours in a few different card games, played in Worlds for Runeterra and all that kind of stuff. My favorite time to be a competitive card game player isn't actually when I'm going to the Pro Tours. It's when I'm playing the like Pro Tour qualifiers or whatever, because what ends up happening is that like every week there's another tournament building up to the Pro Tour or whatever. So what you have is you get to start learning a format, you play the tournament, and if you don't finish well, that's okay because there's another one. So now you just get better. And then you play another one. And then when you feel like you're on a roll, you're just like, yes, I got it. Tournament. And then you roll that into like the Pro Tour or whatever. And Runeterra doesn't have that because I practice, play seasonals, and then seasonals is over. I don't do anything anymore. It's over, right? And it's like, like you said, I don't think people understand how much effort really goes into like winning a seasonals. Even me, I have some of the best, like I'm one of the most winningest seasonal players like in Runeterra. And there are many seasonals where I've played a lot of Runeterra and would tell you I have almost a 0% chance of winning because I needed to put in another 60 hours or something, right? To like feel confident in my chances of taking home first, not just like top 32ing. It takes so much time and effort and it's just not worth it. Even for me, a pro player, Runeterra is my full-time job and it is not worth it for me to put that much time into it. Into seasonals. But if we had these opens, right, or we had other like buy-in tournaments on the way, well then all of a sudden it is worth it. Or like even if it's not, it feels better. And then I can like justify it. And yeah, I would just love to see something like this. This would be such an incredibly huge deal to me if we had these kind of tournaments. I can't even like express it.
I can't even imagine. Yeah, like all I want to do is play Runeterra all freaking day. It's this is on you guys, Riot. We're not alone out here. Like the community loves the game. Game's fantastic. You guys know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. The game's great. We just need excuses to play more. And they're just not there right now. But that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Even at like a very basic schedule. It could be something like, new cards come out 2 weeks later. You do open tournament. Like this arena open tournament that we're talking about. 2 weeks later.
Balance patch.
2 weeks later. Seasonals. And then new cards again.
That's only 6 weeks.
Yeah, so I was gonna say 2 weeks later, new cards.
Oh, okay, I guess.
right? To bring us right back around. But then I remember that they released the new cards now right after seasonals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the absolute best, because it's like 2 months plus maybe for like a season or whatever. So the absolute best would be new cards, 2 weeks later, open tournament, 2 weeks later, balance patch, 2 weeks later, open tournament, 2 weeks later, seasonals and new cards.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. But the thing is, between the seasonals and the new cards, there's like a dead 2 weeks there, which is not good, right? Because like the format dies here. And
No.
Wait 2 weeks.
Replace seasonals with open tournament.
Replace this with open tournament?
Yeah. Because seasonals and new cards happen at the same time. It's like within 1 week of each other.
Oh, balance patch, open tournament. Okay. Yeah. Seasonals cards.
Seasonals / new cards.
We could also, I mean, what I would love even more would be, so new cards.
Uh-huh.
And then 1 week later, open tournament.
Ooh, a nice right out the gate one, huh?
1 week later, or even like maybe 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks later, seasonals.
Whoa.
Then balance patch. So each month you're getting an open tournament and a seasonals.
That'd be crazy.
Type tournament. Because basically what we really have is 1 month seasons. We have 1 month of new cards, and then we have 1 month of a balance patch, and then 1 month of new cards, and then 1 month of a balance patch. And not having a tournament, a major tournament like seasonals in any one of those months, is just like, it just doesn't matter. It's just not, or something that's competitive that like matter. Again, we want to play for stakes. We want to play Arena Open, nice. That would give you something at least. That's more than nothing. But like we're talking about, we're gonna put in a bunch of time, try to win one of these things, and you just have just the seasonals. That's not a lot. So I mean, I would love to see an open tournament, which again they're making money off the open tournaments. Why not? And then seasonals every month. And then maybe you need to change it around. Maybe the prize pools get spread out more, or maybe you just like make this a great marketing effort, and you just have a seasonals every month. You just start giving money to the people. But that would be amazing. Like,
yeah, I'd be okay if it even wasn't like seasonals, right? Because seasonals is like no buy-in. Like, I am down for you to take my money as much as you want with these open tournaments. I will give it to you.
Yes, take my money. Give me awesome skins and boards and tournaments all the time. I'd play a tournament every single weekend, or a lot of tournaments. I wish there were tournaments every weekend, even if I didn't play in all of them. I still love to see it. But yeah, just lots more tournaments. We're gonna have a bunch of formats now. We have 2 constructed formats and a limited format. And if you're going every 2 months, like we currently are basically in a season, and that's like, okay, now it's only the new cards for 2 months, and then it's only limited tournaments for 2 months, and then it's only the old cards for 2 months. Like that's not cool either. Because now, like, oh, I'm a limited player. Okay, like I'm happy for 2 months, then 4 months later I get to play again. Like something that matters? No. So I think in those 2 months, you want to have tournaments that are for like all the formats. You want to be hitting something for everyone.
You hit every format once a season. Then again.
Yeah.
At
least keep the limited and like alternate between the constructed ones or something at the very least. Have
or
2 out of 3, but like the more, just more, everything more.
Should we mention the best part about those? Riot makes money on them. I don't know if we mentioned that part.
Yes. Yeah. Take our money, please. Pretty please. There was one really important thing that's escaping me now that we want to talk about.
I feel like I'm going to harp on that while you're thinking. I feel like they're probably a lot easier to implement, because I understand like it's not so easy that you just like say here's a tournament and it's here and an incline tournament. But I feel like programming wise, it would be so much easier to make a double elimination, no tiebreakers kind of tournament where it's like if you get this finish, you get this prize. It just automatically like pays it out or whatever. or I guess they'd have to send you a form, something, right? But like,
it's basically what Gauntlet is right now.
exactly,
it's just
right?
an expanded version.
Seasonals has to take into account your tiebreakers and stuff like that, right? There's a top 32 cut. Like, this is so much more simple. Also, you don't have to play at the same time as everybody else.
Yes, that's a huge one.
You could jam all 5 games right there, or 7, or whatever, 9, I don't know. Or you could spread them out. You could play 3 here, 4 later, right? Like,
that's massive, because that's the big problem, right? It's like a lot of tournaments start like Saturday morning. People are busy. Got stuff going on. I don't have a whole day, you know? Whereas these, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you play in the morning, afternoon, night, late night. I've played them at like 2 a.m. before. Like, gotta get it in.
Gotta finish. 1 hour left.
Yeah. And that's a big appeal. And that's also like, you know, being able to play best of 3 at any time. Again, like, a huge appeal there. I was going to say cross shard tournaments. Whatever you guys need to do to bring cross shard back, do it. Like, the community has not been the same. We haven't been able to run tournaments. It keeps the game small because we're all segregated. I have no idea what's going on in Europe, Asia. No idea.
I do know it beat the money matches though.
Oh. That's how we have to communicate with each other. It's like, what do you guys do? It's like being we're like in jail, like in Andor. If anyone's watching Star Wars Andor, where they're communicating with each other. Money match?
Money match? Yeah, no.
Jesus, like, cross shard is amazing. I don't know why, you know, there's apparently some technical issues. I don't know if it's path. I don't know if they had to build path and that's why they had to get rid of it. But or put us all on one big server. Whatever you have to do, please bring back cross shard. Oh yeah, this is another thing I was thinking for tournaments and stuff. Which I don't know how they don't do this already. How do they not have all the world championships together? Could you imagine the day starts out LOR World Championship, and then after that, on the same Twitch channel, TFT World Championship, and then League World Championship, and then Valorant World Championship. Day ones, boop boop boop. It would be like the Super Bowl. Take the day off. I'd be watching all these games that I don't even play that much. I barely even know. But like, it's all just happening there together. I'd be down to watch it. Then boom, that's day 1. You bring it back again for day 2.
Don't you want to put them on different weekends?
Yeah, so I don't know how
into the weekdays. I don't know how that works. I'm not going to harp on that because
I don't know how much those other worlds, you know, how the time constraints and stuff.
League Worlds is takes a lot of time.
Yeah, so like, again, maybe League Worlds is like too big of a thing, whatever. But I don't know. Lump us in with TFT, or here you go. Don't have it be Worlds. Just have it be some stupid thing that you make up. Freaking, how about like Riot Week? It's Riot Week now, and we got these big tournaments that you can qualify for, and we're gonna stream it all, just one game after another, and you know, get people that are into TFT, into League, into Valorant, into Runeterra, you know, help grow the games like that. And just like, what a cool, awesome spectacle. Like, just do more cool, awesome, big things. In person, how about in-person tournaments?
LAN tournaments. We've never had one. Ever.
Like, Worlds is 16 people. Come on. You can't fly 16 people out to LA or anywhere else.
I understand it was made when there was like COVID stuff going on, but
yes,
yeah, it'd be really cool to have like a LAN tournament, even like a summit type event where you just invite like 12 people. It's over a weekend, and it's just like 12 people who are, you know, top players or like top creators or whatever. Like, fighting games have these all the time, and they just play like a big ass tournament, and they just all hang out in this giant like Airbnb or whatever, and it's just fantastic content.
Yeah, or just at like they do their own, like, you know, they got the league stops and whatever. But there's also like the huge, what do they call it? DreamHack. So like right before COVID, I went to $100,000 Magic Arena tournament at DreamHack. Free enter. It was amazing. They had like laptops in there. You could bring your laptop and your whatever.
That'd be sick. I'd love that.
it was so cool. It was so much fun to like meet everyone. It was like I don't know. It wasn't like a tour. Like we were playing for $100,000, and there was only like 80 people there. Like no one showed up. It was crazy. Because like they didn't communicate it to anyone. No one even knew it was happening. Sound familiar? But it was like everyone. It was an experience. Everyone there, like kind of like befriended each other, was hanging out together. It was amazing. It was so much fun. So definitely something that Riot should be doing. Let's see what other in-game stuff. What do we want? Oh, support. Dear God, support for community for grass.
Yeah, like a spectator mode that works for
spectator mode that works would be amazing.
Yeah.
We started doing Wednesday Night Runeterra. If anyone doesn't know, we started it back up. Thank you, Greg the Gray. He just basically did it on his own. Was like, we need more tournaments. I'm gonna pick this back up. And I reached out to Riot. We're in the LPP. I reached out. I was like, hey, can we just get some coins as prizes to give away? And I don't know. It's been over a month, and still haven't got a word back. So support for grassroots tournaments. Like it doesn't even need to be money necessarily. Coins. Special unique in-game items. They have been nice enough to tweet out some stuff when our tournaments are happening. But like a system in place where you can get support. It looks like I think they have it over on the APAC shard. They have like a thing like that. For some reason we don't in NA. And just more support in general. If it could ever be possible, tie it into competitive play, into organized play. Because playing for coins is cool, playing for money is nice, playing for like a buy or a spot at seasonals or like or some tournament or a spot at Worlds or something, that's going to be massive, and that's free for you to do, Riot, and will help grassroots tournament organizers hold tournaments and have a sustainable ecosystem. So for instance, if you had some large tournament and the community was allowed to hold qualifiers and like charge entry fees and run these, like that would be massive. What else we got?
Touched on most of the big ones for me. I mean, like,
yeah.
If I'm gonna rank them, and I want you to do it too. Your top three, like things that are more like something that you think like we could actually see in the next year, right?
Okay.
So like my number one would be Magic Arena Open, so open style tournaments or Arena Open style tournaments would be number one by like a fat margin. It's like really big.
I will bribe someone to make that happen if we need.
I will. So, yes.
Yeah. What do you guys want? Need a kidney? I got two.
I don't need one. Number two is probably a rework of Gauntlet. However they want to do it. I trust a lot of the minds there, right? Like I think they could come up with something really good. But I think Gauntlet is like a huge waste of potential, and I really want to see it become something cool. And then number three is probably some kind of draft format that ties into organized play. And that one's not even for me. That one's because I know a lot of people love limited formats, and you just want one in your game. It's just a big deal.
Gosh, I want that so bad. I love limited formats so much. Like I'll probably start streaming again when we have a limited format, because I will do that verbatim. Number one for me is probably that also. Arena style tournaments. I just want more. I want tournaments. I want to be able to win some money. I want to play for stakes. I want to play, for stuff that matters. I'll happily pay for it. Please take my money. That'd be number one. Number two, that we'll see in the next year. So that would probably rule out like any sort of like pro level league or anything like that. I would love, the limited. Okay, sure. Limited format, but that's apparently coming. So fingers crossed. I'm also very happy about rotation. For anyone that is not on board with rotation, trust. It's going to be great. I would love best of 3 ladder. I would really like best of 3 ladder. If everything stayed the same right now, because it would be a lot easier for me to climb the ladder. I would like to climb the ladder, whereas currently I hate climbing ladder. I don't want to play it, and I'm forced to play it because I want to get the 7-2 buy for seasonals, and then it just makes me burnt out and not like the game. So that makes no sense. Which I would probably fix. I don't know if we add that on here, but like fix that system. Whether I think an easy fix, a very easy fix, would be to cut to top 64 instead of top 32. And now, if you do just ladder, now we're talking like top 100 people on the ladder, even more a lot of the time. So like if you're, just, it's pretty easy to get top 100 currently, top 130. It's like pretty darn easy. Compared to currently, like I said, a lot of people getting burnt out, playing way too much. You have no idea where you're going to be safe. Is it top 40? Is it top 30? We've seen even top like 23 kind of thing where it gets cut off. And it's like, oh, you played all season long a crazy amount. You were in 25th. No dice.
And then that's it. There's no other tournament. Your prep doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you're creating a lot of feel bad options there. Or you just get rid of ladder, get rid of that, the tiebreak out of ladder, put that all into gauntlet. That would be a better way to like, boop, you have it locked up and secured somehow. That would be very nice. Obviously you'd have to put something back on ladder then, because you do want ladder to matter. It could be a split. You could do some from gauntlet, some from ladder. But like fix how that works, because it's a bunch of feel bads for people, and it's like also very unfair. Because if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of time to put into Runeterra, it's going to be really hard for you to make it to the top 30 on the ladder, because it's just time consuming. It's extremely time consuming. Yeah. And so, fix. I would say update seasonals, update seasonal tiebreakers, and how they work.
Yeah, I think like I was a huge fan that seasonal tiebreakers was implemented.
Better than not having them, I would say.
It's better than not having them. It is like, it's a great. Do you remember before that?
Ladder was a joke.
Ladder never mattered, ever.
Yeah.
You would hit 100 LP and you would just stop playing.
Yeah.
Like, so that was huge. That was such a big deal. And then again, like the way in which you can qualify for Worlds, fantastic. I love that. You can qualify through repeated like top ladder performance, repeated top seasonal performance, or just like spiking a seasonals. And I think that was like super great. So
exactly what you want.
I know they can like come up with something better, right? Not that like it wasn't good for the time, because it was. But I think especially if they rework Gauntlet, they can really come up with something good.
Yeah, I mean, I think just do away with this whole tiebreaker business. And do something like if you make 7 wins out of 9, you make day 2. That's it. Have the prizes stay the same. Have some special item that you get for making day 2 that everyone gets, and then just have it that you have to win a few rounds before you get into the money. I think that's just much cleaner, and it would just make everyone a lot happier.
Style.
Yeah, you have to tweak that a little bit with the numbers and whatever, but but I think you could figure it out that way. And then for ladder, I'm not sure how to make ladder matter still. Unique items though, giving away certain stuff, that's all kind of cool. But this like the having to grind all the time, it's really bad. Like everyone's getting burnt out. People are mad. People hate it. Like the pros complain about it all the time, how much they don't like it. It's like pulling teeth, except for Bay.
No, I was saying I would complain about it. Now
better.
I do think that's solvable. I think the main problem with it is that like you're grinding for one tournament.
Yeah.
And then if you don't hit it, if you don't spike it, like, that's it. That was your 2 months. And so I think if there were like these open tournaments and stuff, it wouldn't feel like as much of a grind, because you're constantly playing. Like you're constantly like, oh, open tournament in 3 days. Like I want to start prepping for it, right? Like I want to get prepared for that. And then you play it and then you're like, okay, well this deck didn't work out very well. Back to the drawing board. Let's try something new. Let's iterate, right? The meta changed a bit. Oh, balance patch. Now we got to change some more. Another open tournament this weekend, 2 weeks before seasonals or whatever. So it doesn't feel like you're just going ladder, seasonals, ladder, seasonals, ladder. Like, and that's what you get like burnt out on.
Yeah, exactly. There should be lots more tournaments. They don't all have to be massive. They don't all have to be big. They could be like 4-round tournaments. And it's just like, oh, you went 4-0, you got like some cool little thing. Because it's just fun. It's just fun to play best of 3. It's fun to play in a competitive atmosphere. It's fun to play for something that you actually care about, and to play the same format as seasonals.
For example, an example of a cool little thing. I brought this up earlier, but like if there was a gauntlet on a weekend, and if you went 5-0, you got a full art Mystic Shot. There was nothing different than the card. It was just full art, right? Like, I'd play in that.
Yep.
I would continue playing in it until I got that full art Mystic Shot. I will not play in it for an icon.
No, God, no. The icons really, guys, that's not like a reward. It's not like really good. Also, while we're on this, stop making unclickable boards. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Every board should be clickable. That's like the only question when like a board's released, and the only questions I get are a couple, what's the music? Like, is the music good? But mostly, is it clickable? No? Interest gone. Like, people just go, oh, that sucks. I really like this board. And just go buy it.
Yeah, clickable boards all the way through. And if there was, again, talking about tournaments and like you're just talking about right now, where you have to like grind all the time, the constant grind. If there was a way to mitigate that a bit, that'd be really nice too. I mean, ideally there would be in my ideal world, there would be a pro tour, and you would like qualify for that. You would be able to stay on the pro tour. So then you're just not grinding all the freaking time. And so, just like we were talking about with Worlds, where you can qualify through ladder, through binking, a seasonals, or through continued excellence in seasonals. That's what you want for, any of your major tournaments. So like seasonals, for instance, maybe even also a way to do that. Yeah, I think reworking Gauntlet to do it that way just makes sense. Or like, yeah, maybe in like Arena Open, if you go 9-0 or something, or I don't know, I don't need that too much either. But Jesus Christ, just give us more tournaments, lots more tournaments, shit tons of more tournaments. Help support those of us that are trying to put on tournaments. Communication, like, well, let's be real. There's no communication about Worlds. Basically, no one knows when it's happening. There's very little on the website. After a seasonals, you don't see like, hey, this is the person who's first, second, third, fourth. Here's the decks that they played. Like, why not? That's cool. Where's the bracket? Showing all the breakdown stuff. None of that's on the website. So much better communication about these things too. In client. Also, why is the background not Worlds starting November 19th?
Why is there nothing about Worlds in the client?
A pop-up. Something.
If I go to the League client, Lil Nas X is still singing to me the World's Anthem every single time I open it. Like, oh man. Yeah, I went to the tournament tab to show my Twitch chat the World's info, and it wasn't there. I was like, it's in like a week.
Yep. And so they'll just, literally in client right now, if you go to the calendar, it's showing stuff from October and doesn't have Worlds on it at all. Twitter, your website, in-game client, tournament schedules, news about who won, news about what's coming up. It's it's marketing 101. It's not really that hard. It's comms 101. Just do that, please. All right.
I think that's about it for me. Yeah.
Beat this horse to death enough. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. So I guess we'll get one more of these in before Worlds.
We should record it like right before Worlds.
We should do it like after we lock in our decks, so then we can talk about it a little bit, and then maybe we'll release it like we'll release it Friday sometime.
Right, like in between deck lock-in time and Worlds starting.
Yeah, perfect. So that'll be next Friday. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, Riot. Hope you guys like this. If you ever want to ask us any more questions about this stuff, please, God, do. Please. We live and breathe competitive LOR. We love it so very much. And we do appreciate all of your work, and we really hope to see great things in 2023. Pulling for you guys. Fingers crossed. All right, everybody. Right here. Peace.